Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into the analysis of a striking declaration by Iran's Khamenei, "We will never surrender," as examined by military experts Cole Doug MacGregor and Cole Daniel Davis.
That's right, and it's really a telling statement given the current tensions in the region, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's like a defiant anthem in the midst of geopolitical storm clouds. Khamenei's words are not just rhetoric, they signify a broader commitment to resist external pressure at all costs.
Yeah, and when you factor in the insights from MacGregor and Davis, it's clear there's a layered strategic message here.
Right, their analysis really brings forward how this vow ties into Iran's long term military strategy and their narrative of
Yeah,
resilience.
exactly.
They argue that such declarations aim to fortify domestic support and portray an unyielding stance on the international stage.
And isn't it interesting how the video's presentation style, streaming live and gathering thousands of views, amplifies that message even further?
Indeed, the live streaming aspect gives it a raw, unfiltered vibe, almost like a rallying cry. It's like, the medium itself is part of the message, engaging a global audience right as tensions escalate.
So, the experts really dissect the symbolism behind "we will never surrender" as more than just words, but as an ideological commitment.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that they put it in context with past conflicts and the historical role of defiance in shaping a nation's identity. They
I
point
see
to
that.
how a similar mindset has been leveraged to rally a people, even in dire circumstances.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Is it a genuine strategic posture or more of a political maneuver to keep internal dissent at bay?
Good question. I mean, on one hand, such declarations serve as morale boosters. On the other, they might be designed to signal to external adversaries that any attempt at coercion will be met head on.
Right, that dual purpose is pretty intriguing. I'm also thinking about the historical impact, like when leaders throughout history have used similar rhetoric. It's almost like a tradition in resistance.
Absolutely, it's like a recurring theme. You see, when facing overwhelming odds, leaders often adopt that no surrender stance, and Khamenei is no exception. It not only boosts national pride, but also crafts a narrative that sacrifices are worth the cause.
And then there's the military experts' angle. MacGregor and Davis break down how such defiance might play out in terms of military strategy.
Right. They discuss the readiness to engage in any form of conflict, which totally underscores that never surrender message as a calculated move rather than simple bravado.
Yeah,
They
I
warn
agree.
that this rhetoric might actually obscure certain realities on the ground.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by obscure certain realities?
Sure, it's like, while the bold claim sends a strong message, it can also mask internal vulnerabilities and strategic shortcomings.
That's
So,
a fair point.
while the message inspires, it might also be a smokescreen for areas where the state isn't as robust as it appears.
That's a nuanced take. But don't you think those experts also acknowledge the psychological edge such rhetoric can offer, both to the supporters and to potential adversaries?
Right, and I do agree with that. Their analysis does weigh the psychological warfare aspect heavily, using defiant language to unsettle opponents.
Exactly.
It's like psyching out the enemy before any physical engagement happens.
And considering this is a live stream with an engaged audience, the reaction itself adds another layer, almost self-reinforcing the intended message.
Right, the live chat and viewership add real-time feedback, reinforcing the image of unstoppable resolve. It's like watching a live pulse of sentiment.
Yes, indeed. But then there's also the external perspective. How do other nations view this? Is it seen merely as posture, or does it have real military implications?
Well, looking at it critically, some analysts argue that such statements can escalate tensions unnecessarily.
Yeah, I get
They
that.
warn that in an already fragile geopolitical climate, bold rhetoric could pave the way for miscalculations.
Interesting. So while the message is meant to project strength, it might also inadvertently provoke a more aggressive stance from opposing forces?
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword. It's like painting yourself into a corner. You either commit fully to the stance or risk amplifying your opponent's resolve.
That risk is significant. I'm curious, how do they reconcile this risk in the experts' view? Do they believe that it's a gamble worth taking?
They certainly imply that, yes. There's a sort of measured calculation, accepting the risks for a promise of rallying national unity and deterring potential adversaries simultaneously. It's essentially
Yep,
a
that makes
high-stakes
sense.
game of perception and resilience.
And speaking of risks, The channel also touches on some broader implications, doesn't it? Like potential impacts on neighboring countries and alliances?
Right, the ripple effects are enormous. It's not just about internal politics, but also how this stance fits into the regional balance of power. This
Exactly.
narrative of defiance feeds into the larger network of alliances and conflicts, particularly in the Middle East.
So ultimately, Khamenei's words are less about immediate military strategy and more about cementing a long-standing ideological commitment to resistance.
Precisely, it's like his statement is both a rallying cry for his own people and a challenge to his adversaries. It's layered with historical, psychological, and strategic significance.
And when you put that into context with the live format and the expert breakdown, it paints a picture of a very complex, almost theatrical stance.
Exactly. There's definitely a performative aspect to it, defining an image of unyielding strength while navigating the realities of modern geopolitics.
That theatrical edge is hard to miss. Although, I might add, isn't there a risk that such rhetoric could backfire, making it harder for diplomatic resolutions?
I get that concern, totally. It's like walking a tightrope. On one side, you cultivate national pride and deterrence. On the other, you risk pushing the world closer to
Yes,
conflict.
exactly.
It's a precarious balance that the experts stress must be managed carefully.
It's almost ironic, right? The very words meant to solidify a nation's strength might also contribute to escalating tensions that lead to instability.
Absolutely, it is ironic. It's like shouting, "We will never surrender," can be a call for unity at home, but also a provocation on the international stage.
Right, that irony is palpable. So, wrapping up, it seems that Khamenei's declaration, as unpacked by MacGregor and Davis, is a multifaceted statement that intertwines resolve, political posturing, and a high-risk strategy.
Exactly, it's a complex message meant to inspire and deter, and its live broadcast nature amplifies its impact. It's a reminder of how language in geopolitics can be both a tool of unity and a spark for conflict.
Absolutely. And that really leaves us pondering the power and perils of such defiant rhetoric on the global stage. Thanks for the insightful discussion.